Cuba, it's me. Welcome to episode 255 of The W.I.L.L.I.W Show, which stands for Wrestling is Life. Life is Wrestling. Now, a lot of times in life, when you're such a big fan of wrestling or you're involved in wrestling, you come across people either you've known for a long time, that you have fell out of touch with, or new people that you meet. And what happens is, somehow along the lines, wrestling comes up because people want to know about you. They're trying to get to know you, or they're trying to find out what you've been up to all these years since they've last seen you. And somehow you drop the W word, wrestling. Just because it's funny to see people's reactions, because most of the time they're just like, oh, they try and downplay it. But some of them actually seem interested. So when this happens to you, what is the first thing you show them of yourself? It doesn't necessarily mean the thing you're the most proud of or your favorite match. Maybe it's the one that you think will make you look the best. What do you show them of yourself? Even if you're a referee, a manager, a promoter, whatever the case may be, and of course a wrestler, and you're trying to show someone and you want to start off on the best foot forward. I know for me, a lot of the best matches that I've had aren't on tape. I mean, back in the day, not a lot of the shows used to get videotaped. And even if they had, it's who knows who has these tapes and contents. They've got passed through the fingertips, they're up in people's attics somewhere. But then also, if you're trying to get someone into wrestling and they've never really been exposed to it, or they've seen it back in the day and it wasn't for them, but you're trying to get them in, what match would you show them from any wrestling, it doesn't have to include yours, to try and get them to be a fan? For me personally, like I said, a lot of my better matches are not on film, but I do have quite a few, I guess, right? My go-to used to be when people would ask if I was a wrestler, I would show them the match I had in 2006 versus Sean Spears, now known as Ty Dillinger. But I only had it on VCR tape, and then I uploaded it to like, there was like a new YouTube that started. I can't remember what it was called. It was like some video site. Might have been Mega Video, something like that. And I had it uploaded on there, and it had a whole bunch of views. And I also, on my old computer, I had a bunch of my matches on DVD. So I would put them in my computer, and I would like upload them to my computer, and I would make clips. I would had like clips of a Cuban or Cuban classics or whatever they were called, and that video got took down too. I wish I would have saved those two videos. I still have the Spears match on VCR tape, and I guess eventually I should get around to upload it, but it's not the greatest quality, and I'm gonna just be filming it with my phone if I do it, and I'm always so busy filming the W.I.L.L.I.W shows. But I've had quite a few recently. Sometimes if people ask, I try and just show them. I made another one, Clips of a Cuban, which is like mostly just recent stuff, because some of my old stuff, I was doing things that I don't even attempt to do now. But so I made a new one of those. That one had quite a few views. And then on the 100th episode of the W.I.L.L.I.W show, I made a tribute to myself, which had highlights, but it also had highlights from the W.I.L.L.I.W show. So sometimes I try and show them that because it shows all the good stuff, and people have short attention span. They don't really want to watch a lot of match. I try and also show them two matches that I tend to show people are the one versus Reckless Ryan Swift, and the one with me and Hacksaw versus Brandon Hines and Reggie Marley. The case being that they're filmed for Rogers TV, so they have good camera work, professional quality and whatnot, and they have announcers on them. So that's why I tend to show those matches. But there's a couple good ones that I like. There was a match with Mark House I did, and it's a good like 8 or 9 minute match, and it's good to show people because it flows really fast, and the crowd is really loud for me in that match. So I love showing that one because I get some really good Cuba chants in that one. There's quite a few other ones that I would show, but if I was trying to get someone to become a fan, not of me, of wrestling in general, well, first I'd have to pick what kind of personality they are. Are they the kind of person that maybe has a tendency to violence? Do they like horror movies? Then you might want to show them something with some more hardcore elements in it or some weapons. If they're a person that likes like superheroes, the good guy versus the bad guy, you want to show them a match that really tells a good story that way. It just depends what kind of person they're in and why you're trying to get them into wrestling. So, I mean, there's some good examples like over the years, like Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker at the WrestleMania. That's a really good one to show people. And I really like showing people the ladder match between like Edge and Christian and the Dudleys and the Hardys from back in the day. That's a good one for like a bunch of moves where you're just amazed that they're putting their bodies through it. And then it depends, like I said, what they're into. If they're more into the sports side of it, then you might want to show them some, like they really are into sports and they want realism, you might want to show them some Japan wrestling. But I want to hear from you guys, as always, on the W.I.L.L.I.W show. I love the comments. When people find out you're involved in wrestling, what is the first match you show them to represent yourself? And when you're trying to get someone, or they're interested in becoming a fan of wrestling, what match would you show them to try and get them hooked? As always, on the W.I.L.L.I.W show, like or you get a leg drop, comment or you get a clothesline, subscribe or you get a suplex. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba!